YouTube. There we go. Oh, let me take off these AirPods. Much better. What's up, TikTok? What's up, YouTube? Anyone here? Anybody at all? No one's here? Just hanging out, talking with myself. Hey, Abdul Magico. Wow, TikTok like gives me a filter, makes me look like 5 years younger. I kind of like that. What's up, Babur Farouk? TikTok, really? You know, Douglas, you got to be hip, man. Otherwise, you're just going to get old. You got to do the TikTok. Oh, are you mad because Instagram is not going live today? Well, it's because I have two phones. This is an old iPhone 7. This is an iPhone 7. TikTok crashes my phone. It overheats the phone and shuts down. iPhone 7 can't run TikTok. So I have to go buy a new iPhone today so I can do TikTok. So Connor was like, hey, Mark, we get way more interaction and stuff on TikTok than Instagram. So do TikTok today. And that's why there's no Instagram today. So I got to go get a new phone and then we'll be back up and running. So that's why. Kar Kaplani. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. Today we're going to talk about a few different things. We can talk about how to make money as an app developer, how to get into programming, how to become a developer, how you can do it this year. Some of you may not know. Hey, over there on TikTok, LV. Some of you may not know that you can make 6 figures as a developer, a programmer. That's something you can learn on your own without going to school, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, we'll also talk about which programming language you should learn first. So you feel free to ask questions about that. So we can talk about anything we want. Just feel free to ask questions. What languages do I know already? Ooh. Let's see here. I started with Visual Basic for applications. So VBA, C#, Swift, Objective-C, C++. I'm a mid-level C++ guy. That's 5. JavaScript, TypeScript, Python. Jason, am I missing any?
Well, you've done React and Angular.
No, those are like frameworks.
Just frameworks. You get Node and that's
JavaScript. I'm at 8 so far. I can't remember. I think there's one more. I know. So at least 8, I can work. I know how to make money in 8 programming languages. Let's just put it that way. Do I have a CS degree? No, I do not. I am self-taught, homegrown American developer. Say it back. Now. Bye. Okay. Hasta luego. Hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Sunday, John 28. What's up? Java. Java is the first programming language. Oh, do I know Java? I do know Java. That's 9.
Kotlin?
No, I never really learned Kotlin. That's kind of new. I don't know why I hate Python. I don't love simplicity. I know Dart kind of. I learned Dart to teach it, but I don't work in it every day. You know, the thing about Python is it is different from other languages because it uses indentation. There's no curly braces. There's no semicolons. It's all indentation where actually spaces. If you don't have the right types of spaces, your compiler can't read it correctly and it'll crash. So it is very different than other languages, I will say. API request is used for front end or back end, for both. An API simply means application programming interface. It's where you write a set of tools or something. You just write code and you expose that code to something else. It could be a back end talking into a back end, or it could be a front end talking to a back end, or it could just be even an SDK. Like you can build an iPhone SDK, like a framework, and you expose an API for the app to use even locally in the app. Is it bad to know only database development? Companies are now looking for full stack developers. Oh, just nothing's bad, but add to your skills, add to your skill set, add some more tools to your belt. It'll only help you. I've been learning React.js, kind of forgetting vanilla JavaScript syntax. Should I worry? Greetings from Zurich. Greetings. How did I say hello in Germany? It's Auf Wiedersehen, or is that goodbye? I don't know. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. That could be it. Auf Wiedersehen. I don't know. It's probably not even Germany. I don't even know. No Instagram today. Sorry, my phone is busted. So you were asking about, you feel like you're forgetting JavaScript because you're doing so much React. I do recommend that you spend a lot of time in JavaScript. It is very common for front end web developers to get so wrapped up in the UI that they don't really write code. They just build UI. So I do recommend that make sure you master JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, do coding projects, coding challenges, get those skills up there. You'll never forget it once you're an expert. Like for instance, I'll never forget JavaScript. You could teach me 1,000 things and I'm still gonna know JavaScript. So I think you need to get your core skills up there in JavaScript before you start diving deeper into React. Can you get a job as a front end if you're not good with API? No, you absolutely need to learn API. Sometimes you can get past it, but you absolutely need to know how to consume an API, how to do authentication, OAuth, how to work with web tokens, how to store them, all of that. You've got to master that to get a job. Is JavaScript enough to get a job? No, you got to learn more stuff. You got to know like full stack development or front end development. You got to have tools and frameworks under your belt. There's no jobs where you're just coding purely in JavaScript. Not really. Same with Python. There's no job where you're just coding purely in Python. There's always frameworks. People say you should learn Python because it's the most used programming language. No, that's not true. You should learn the technology you need for the tech stack you want to go down. Sure, if you want to become a data scientist, learn Python. If you want to become a front-end web developer, no, learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React. That's going to get you a job more quickly. You're going to have more success more quickly. Learn the technology for the particular path you want to go down, okay? Do you have experience with cloud computing like AWS or GCP? I actually don't, none at all. It's a huge industry, but I don't. I don't. Which testing framework would you recommend for Node? Not a very complex thing, just for school assignment. So I can't remember off the top of my head. I think in the past I used Mocha and Chai. I think that's what I used. Maybe Chai's for front end though. But I know Mocha.
I used Mocha and Chai for front end.
But I know I've done that for the APIs, I think too. I don't know. I can't remember. I do think Python is only useful for data science. No, it's useful for many things. It's used for web, for desktop. It's used for data science, machine learning, a whole bunch of things. You know, there's lots of uses for it. Most importantly, though, is find what you want to work on and then learn what you need to learn. Does C++ or C#, which one runs well with JavaScript? I don't know what you're asking me. What do you usually need to get a junior developer job? Is it worth just doing a lot of projects on GitHub to get started? No. Loro Lana, let me give you some really solid advice here. I'm gonna give you a solid one here, right? This is what you need to do. You need to learn whatever the job you're going for, the core basics of it. So let's say if it's web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, you need to build one major project that's super advanced. You're gonna put that on your GitHub. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna go in for an interview, and it's possible, this happens frequently, an interviewer is gonna say, let's walk through your code, your best project, and let's talk about it, and give them a project to look at. So you do need that. But what's more important to get your junior job is you need 3 or 4 freelancing projects on your resume. You do not want your resume, your last job, to say, chef at Red Lobster. You don't need that on there. But if you don't have anything, you don't want an empty resume. You need to do 3 to 4 freelancing projects before you get your full-time job. It'll help you a ton. I promise you. Do some paid work on Upwork.com. That's your fastest path to getting your first full-time job. All right. Let's take a look here. Does e-commerce Zoom clone count as major project? If you build a Zoom clone, you're going to get a job. Zoom is incredibly complex. If you build video streaming tool as your project, you're going to get an amazing job. Most juniors would never be able to come close to building that. If you build a real video streaming app, even if you use APIs and SDKs, that's super impressive. That's really, really impressive, okay? Sent present, sent present. I don't even know what these presents are. What are the presents? How do I open them? I'm getting sent presents and I don't know how to open them. What was the fastest way? I came in late. Fastest way to what? To become, the fastest way to get your very first developer job, if you're learning to code, is to build one major project, super advanced project, your best work, put that on your GitHub, okay? Put that on your GitHub so an employer can look at it. But most importantly is you're going to go into Upwork and you need to take on 3 contract projects where you get paid. You need to fill up your resume. Your last entry in your resume can't show you as a cook at Red Lobster. That's what I was saying earlier. It needs to show real relevant experience. That's the fastest way to get in your first job. If you get those freelance projects, you will move past anybody else who doesn't have that. Because guess what? Most people who leave a boot camp, all they have is their projects they worked on at the boot camp, right? If I'm going to hire somebody, I don't want to go look at stupid boot camp projects that every student had to do the same, right? I'm not going to want to do that. That's why at the DevSlopes Academy, that's why we actually push people to do freelance projects. So we do help you with the capstone project. It is important to get that one major project. But then we push you to actually go and get freelance projects, right? Because we want to help you get a job. The fastest way for you to get a job is to do freelance projects. So if you join the DevSlopes Academy, which is our training and coaching program, we'll literally coach you through that process. You'll send out the applications to the job. We'll coach you on how to fix them. We'll coach you on how to close the deal, how to actually code the job. And then we'll tell you how to get a review from the client so you can get it on your Upwork profile. So then you can put that project on your resume and we'll help you build your resume. All those really cool things at the DevSlopes Academy, by the way. That's devslopes.com/apply if that's interesting to you. If you want to work with me and my team one-on-one, where we actually help you get paid work, help you become a paid developer, that's devslopes.com/apply. So that's the fastest way. Douglas Spencer says, if you build a Zoom clone, I'll give you a job right now. I know that's what I was saying, Doug. It's like, that's intense. Oh, that's funny. Is web dev saturated? No, nothing's saturated. We're just saturated with crummy developers, people who don't try. They learn a few things and they say, dear, please, kind sir, consider me for this job, blah, blah, blah. I get emails like that all the time. I don't hire any of those people. We don't need any more of that. We need good developers who are doing amazing things. React or jQuery for really getting into front end after the Holy Trinity? Definitely React. jQuery you can learn as you go along, and you will encounter it as a web developer. I do. I think React uses jQuery under the hood anyway to fetch elements and things like that. But definitely master React. Someone's asking, what's your choice, Flutter or KMM? KMM. I don't know what KMM is. I don't know what KMM means. Kotlin something? There's some Kotlin cross-platform thing I hear. Graduated from a boot camp 2 years ago and finally landed a 6-figure role as a mobile developer. Awesome. That's super cool. Upwork banned me without any valid reason. What can I do? The other thing that I teach people to do is you go, I don't know where you live, but what I did in the past was I built a landing page and then I would do Google ads for app development or web development, and they'd come fill out a form. And I would call them, I'd learn about what their project, and then I would close the deal. And if I was getting back into freelancing, I would probably do that again because you can make way more money on those projects than you can on Upwork. But it's more effort, and you got to be a closer. You got to be a closer. You got to close the deals. Let's see. My biggest fear is learning a completely new language and forgetting the basics of an old language. It doesn't happen, Abdu, so long as you just keep coding. Like, for instance, I haven't coded in Visual Basic VBA for years. but I can guarantee you I could be back in it within 10 minutes. Just like that. The 30-day code challenge, when you buy it, will you have lifetime access? Actually, no. You get lifetime. Our 30-day code challenge is designed to help you have success. So you get lifetime access to the free bonuses. We're going to give you some free courses, but the actual 30-day challenge, you lose access to. After 35 days, it's gone. That's why you have to complete it every single day, no matter what. You can't be skipping days. You lose access. It's that way on purpose. It forces you to have success. You're going to spend $100 and you're going to get coaching and mentorship and training. And you're basically going to throw that $100 in the trash if you don't do it. Okay. You just wasted that money if you don't do it. There's no freebies. There's no going back. We're forcing you to have success. That's the whole point of the challenge. 30 days of coding. You make it happen no matter what. It's designed to push your limits. Absolute beginners can do it, but it forces you to do it every single day. Every day there's a new mission. That's 30daycodechallenge.com. The next one starts June 1st. Is there a limit to being a part of your program? No, we have high school students in our program, actually. Someone just joined recently. I'm in college, so project is not a requirement, right? I'm not sure what you mean. Where to get project ideas? Just, if you want to get a job, think of the big projects that are out there. Netflix, like the video streaming, right? Building a cryptocurrency wallet that does all the cryptography in it. Complex stuff, advanced stuff. Building an Airbnb app that actually works, building an Amazon e-commerce store that actually works, right? At least the front end that purchases, things like that. Integrating with Stripe, like real projects, really big things, not stupid little toy apps, really big projects that do real things. I got my web development degree, but it's so hard to find a job. There are techniques to finding a job. If you want some advice, Notorious, Google DevSlopes podcast resume. DevSlopes podcast resume. I give tips on things you can do for your resume and other things that'll get you in the door and get you a job. What's the best way to go for a back-end dev? I mean, the beginning approach with Node. Yeah, so Node's an option. Python, Django, Python Flask is an option. Learning those things will help you. Learning some database systems, NoSQL databases like MongoDB or Postgres, and then some SQL stuff like MySQL. Knowing about all that stuff will help. Is PHP important as JavaScript in the front end? No, it's just it's a back end language, or it could be a hybrid templating language depending on how you use it. But there are lots of opportunities in it. I think it's an archaic, older, antiquated language, not worth learning in my opinion. I think there's a lot better things that have more opportunities that pay higher, but you can get paid work in PHP. There's still lots of places and people that use it. iOS dev or front-end dev? Just love to code. Just can't decide what to give 100% focus on. I'm from England. The market is big for Python, SQL, and Java. Raphael, in England, the market it has a lot of similarities to the United States. There's opportunities for everyone. I placed a young lady recently in UK as an iOS developer. Lots of opportunities. You should just focus on what you love the most. Try both out, see what you like, and just roll with it. You'll be fine. Can a 15-year-old get a job as a software engineer? Not likely. You need to be, 16 at least, but probably 18. But you could be learning. If you got real good, your parents, could set up an account for you and on Upwork, and they could get paid and you could do the work if you're ambitious. What's your thought about Amazon Web Services? Lots of work opportunities there. It's huge, multi-billion-dollar industry. It's great stuff too. Definitely worth learning if you're interested in that. I have 1 semester left to graduate from college where we're mostly done back and stuff, but I really want to get into front end instead. Would that back end knowledge be useful for getting a front end job? If you learn the front end, absolutely. It's actually going to help a ton. If you learn the front end and you already know that back end stuff, you're more likely to get a job than somebody who doesn't know that. So it gives you kind of a head start. What do you consider to be a major project only for front end? Yeah, it needs to be something that's complicated, that has authentication, that actually talks to a server and signs in. It needs to have some type of data management where you're bringing in data from an API, or hopefully in more advanced stuff than just, simple data. Like maybe it brings down images and you cache the images, you sync in video. Like a lot of those things would be very valuable to a lot of companies if you built something like that. Lebanese developer, you want to join the live stream? I don't do the live streams. I don't like going live. I don't like being put on the spot and talking to people. Don't take it personally. I don't let anybody in my live streams. Sorry. I'm 30, heavily into tech until 18, then got off track and blue collar. Guide me, please. Just start learning to code. Well endowed penguin. Just start learning to code. Pick something you like. Start with it. If you enjoy it, just stick with it. Find a program. You're 30, right? Why don't you just stop wasting time? Go find a program like ours, like DevSlopes Academy. We'll give you all the stuff you need to learn. All you got to do is learn it. Go get yourself a job. You don't even have to think about it, right? Because you're 30. If you were somebody who's like 18, I'd say go play on YouTube. Go take some free courses. Figure out what you want to do. But if you're serious about this and you're 30, just take a program, learn all this stuff, go get it paid work. Don't waste time. Just go get paid work. Become a developer within 12 months. I've gone pretty web development, but I should have urged, should you abandon web dev? I don't know how to answer that question. Would it be hard to get a job if I complete your program a little after I graduate high school since I'm so young? You just need to be 18 before you can get a job at the end of the day. Get ready before then, like work really hard. And then when you're 18, you'll blow past all your peers who are going to go work at McDonald's. You'll be able to go get a coding job making $75,000 a year while they're flipping burgers. I think that's pretty cool. And a lot of your peers are going to go to college. I'm going to university. They're going to get in debt. They're going to get some crummy job while they're in debt, while they're going to school, and you'll be making $75,000 a year. You'll be driving around in your BMW M5 while the other person you went to high school with who's going to college is flipping burgers so they can pay their bills. That's what programming can do for you, especially if you start so young. What's an alternative for PHP? Python and Django. In terms of like the templating, injecting UI into the front end with the PHP in the back end. I don't like that. I don't like templating. I like keeping the front end separated from the back end. So I would actually recommend Python and Flask. And then the front end is kept separate with like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You could also use Node and JavaScript for your back end. Any language I should focus on? If you want to do Arduino, like your own type of projects like that, then Python is going to be great for you. How's the new house? I haven't moved in yet. It's still in the closing process. I just had to pay off all my taxes and I'll do 10 bajillion different things to get my house. So I just bought a house, but it's still in the closing process. So I move in on June 9th. All right. In order to become an Android developer, should I study Java before? No, just learn Kotlin. Android is a Kotlin now. It's all about Kotlin. When you get your job, you will encounter Java, but you can learn it along the way. Focus on Kotlin, master it. What's the hardest part about freelancing? Keeping your pipeline active. What a lot of brand new freelancers do is they get a project and they're like, woohoo, I'm done. And then they don't get new prospects, and then the project finishes and they're out of work. And then they say freelancing is not working. You can't run your business like that. While you are coding the projects you currently have, you have to bring on more projects. This is key. This is called your pipeline, your sales pipeline. And so you want to, every single day, or at least once a week or 2 times a week, you want to have a plan. At 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm going to send out 10 job proposals, okay? You need to do that while you are working on your projects. That's the hardest part about freelancing, is keeping the money coming in. A lot of people don't like to do that. They just want to do the code, but you have to do both as a freelancer. If you're not interested in closing deals and getting on the phone and talking to people, freelancing is not for you. You need to go get a regular job working for a company. Okay, it's not, you can't get on the phone, and if you don't like closing deals, freelancing is not for you. All right, and that's okay. Did I learn Lua? I've never learned Lua. What do you think copying websites is LinkedIn when the learning process ends? I'm not sure what you mean. Is it worth it to learn Swift? Yeah, if you want to be an iOS developer, iOS developers are some of the highest paid developers in the world. What if I hate JavaScript, just can't seem to learn it? Well, let me tell you, Sir Lucius, left foot, JavaScript is one of the easiest languages. It's not going to get any easier with different languages. So you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? You're not going to like hate JavaScript and then find some other language where you're like, oh, this is the one I needed to learn. So you have to ask yourself, who am I? Who do I want to be? Maybe you haven't had the right teachers. Maybe you haven't had the right experience. Like, maybe you don't like coding. Maybe you just like the user interface, like HTML, CSS. I don't know what those answers are, but JavaScript is at the low end of the totem pole, like the easiest of the easiest, complex from there. So you figure out who you want to be, and maybe you don't hate it. Maybe you just aren't learning it, and so you hate it because you're not learning it. So maybe you need help. Maybe you need to take our 30-day code challenge. It's 30 days of JavaScript, where we actually train you every single day for 30 days, and we help you get really good with JavaScript. And you have to do the mission every day. Maybe that'll help you. That's 30daycodechallenge.com. The next one starts June 1st. If you're a CSS expert, but you don't want to do JS, is that market gone? That market is gone. You know, on Upwork, you can sometimes find HTML, CSS stuff, but that market's gone. You have to know JavaScript to become a web developer. You have to. At the end of the day, you have to. I've gone pretty far with web dev, but have an urge to do iOS dev. Well, build some iOS apps, see if you love it, and if you do, just stick with it. How to deal with imposter syndrome as a developer? Sometimes you need a coach, someone who's there helping you. A lot of students in my DevSlips Academy, they have imposter syndrome, and I send them videos, I chat with them, I work with them, I help them to get over it, because it's a hard thing. We all go through it. If you're on your own, it's going to be harder. Just make sure that you have a vision of where you want to be. Having a plan is important. Like, I want to be a full-time web developer or backend developer or iPhone developer, whatever it is. I want to make this kind of money. You need to have your vision and your plan. If you consistently work at the plan, you'll get over your imposter syndrome and you'll do great. If you don't have a vision. You know what it says in the Bible, right? Where there is no vision, the people perish, right? If you don't have a vision of where you're working towards, it's really easy to fall off the path. Where to start with Python? Just take some free YouTube tutorials. Search Python course on YouTube. You'll find a whole bunch. What is the best language for cross-platform mobile games? Absolutely C# and Unity, the best place for beginners to start. I feel I understand the syntax for Swift, but when I see a new problem that I haven't seen before, I struggle to write anything without Googling. That's okay. It just takes time. A lot of people, they come to me and they say, I just feel like I can't figure it out. Like, other people are better or whatever. But in reality, it's just experience. You just need to be doing more, coding more. Mac X Speed, I highly recommend you do coding challenges. In fact, I've got the 30-day code challenge for Swift, also starting June 1st. 30 days of intensive coding challenges from beginner to advanced levels. Every day you do a new coding challenge. And the whole point is to get your core skills up so you don't have to Google, so you don't have to go find those things. So that could help you out a lot. That's June 1st, 30daycodechallenge.com. Why are there not a lot of Django jobs? There are some Django jobs out there. There's quite a few. There's lots of all kinds of different jobs. There's Django jobs out there. I finished a trash web developer course that cost me $6K USD, yet I feel like I'm not ready as a developer. What should I do? You'll have to let me know what program you did sometime. I'm curious. It's really about Where did you go? I lost you. Oh, there you are. Jetix. It's really about, it's a hard thing, right? There's the learning, but then there's actually getting the job. I'm sorry that your program didn't help you get your job. Like that's the big problem. Because what you need is you need a coach, like helping you with your resume, helping you apply for jobs. In any case, coach, that's what you need to do. If you spent $6K on the program, you probably got some skills. It's just time for you to start apply for jobs, and just know you're going to get rejected, and that's okay. Apply for 10 jobs, get rejected 10 times, you'll get better and better. Just keep applying, keep getting better. That's my best advice for you. You know, it's good when you have coaches and mentors that help you, but it's time just to start applying. Have some professionals look at your resume. Start working with recruiters if you can. Do you recommend 30-day code challenge to non-beginners? Yeah, so we have advanced challenges in the 30-day code challenge. So if you're somebody who knows the core basics of a language, but you just want to get your data structure and algorithm skills up really high, we've got advanced challenges in the 30-day code challenge for you that'll take your skills to super high levels. So yes, that's 30daycodechallenge.com. Starts June 1st. I have to wrap this up, everybody. Yeah, Jetix, if you have any questions, you can email me, mark@devslopes.com. I can give you some more advice. But if you guys want to work with me, you guys and gals want to work with me at DevSlopes one-on-one, we have a coaching program. It's like a boot camp, except we don't kick you out. When the program ends, we keep working with you. And then we help you get paid projects. And then we help you do, the freelancing. And then we help you with your resume. We actually help you apply for jobs. And we help you through the whole process all the way to the finish line. That's devslopes.com/apply. And we'll help you all the way to the finish line. So thanks, everyone. I do this every single day, Monday through Friday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay, Monday through Friday, 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Thanks, everyone, for showing up.